Happy Friday, Martha. Happy Friday, America. Live from Texas, this is The Will Cain Show, right to a Fox News alert. Charlie Kirk's accused assassin, Tyler Robinson, making his second in-person appearance in court. His defense team is arguing for the disqualification of the entire prosecution team. They are claiming conflict of interest. Right now, the court is in a brief recess. We are expecting a decision from the judge today. We're going to go back to the courthouse live once the hearing resumes. But now, we're ending the week how we started it, but somehow worse. A daily descent into chaos.
This is the Federal Protective Service. The facility is closed and not open to the public.
That was the scene in Minneapolis last night. This is the scene right now. What it looks like tomorrow depends sadly on the leaders of Minnesota. And right now, their strategy is not complying, not de-escalating, but by instead pouring fuel on the fire. Here's Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey and his genius suggestion.
If this were about order, there would be a simple way to restore it. And let me tell you a secret. It's not restored by additional federal agents. Order would be restored, and I will make this prediction, if those federal agents left. As soon as they leave, we will have peace, we will have safety, and order will be restored.
Valuable secret. It makes sense if you think about it. Abolish police, less crime, remove ICE, less chaos. Of course, that's what you get from the leaders of defund the police. Not spicy enough? Well, here comes Ilhan Omar with a canister of kerosene.
We do believe that one of the reasons why he sent this paramilitary occupation into our state, why this level of terror is taking place, why we are seeing the kind of chaos that is ensuing, is because he does want to invoke the Insurrection Act. And we are telling our constituents not to take the bait.
Chaos, terror, paramilitary occupation. And just to be clear on the timing, it was chaos, then the consideration of the Insurrection Act. Pramila Jayapal of Washington State, she brought a whole wheelbarrow full of horse manure.
We are seeing horrifying videos of ICE agents battering down people's doors without a warrant, racially profiling people on the street, busting in car windows and trying to intimidate and suppress the First Amendment rights to peacefully protest.
Where are those videos? I have seen videos like this, people screaming, chasing, threatening ICE agents. Interesting, of course, since there were cameras, and since there was a microphone, there, of course, was Jasmine Crockett.
When we look at other places, say places that did things like, oh, you know, go door to door, looking for people, as they had to hide out, say in an attic. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Or the images that I have seen of people being attacked by law enforcement, whether we're talking about dogs or fire hoses, it seems very reminiscent of something that we have seen before in this country. This looks like modern-day slave patrols.
Civil rights movement, slave patrols, an allusion to the Holocaust. It's incendiary rhetoric like that that's leading residents to predict things like this.
Is this going to stop? Probably not. Is it going to get worse? Probably. What does getting worse look like? Like, is martial law coming? You know, almost certainly, which sucks. Because these are our neighbors. Like, we're just living. We're just here trying to protect each other. And to see the different narratives coming from different sides it's all just tough to reckon with.
It's no wonder residents are confused, thinking that way, maybe scared. It's because they have for themselves these type of council members.
Alerting neighbors of any type of immigration enforcement is not escalating tensions, it's keeping people safe. I give daily updates about where ICE is at in our neighborhoods so people can make adequate plans to stay safe.
I wonder what CBP Commissioner Rodney Scott has to say about all of that. We'll ask him when he joins us a bit later in the show. But first, let's go to the ground in Minneapolis. That's where we'll find Fox News correspondent Bill Malugin. Bill, what's it like out there today?
Will, if anybody thought a little snowstorm was going to... You can see very clearly behind me that is not the case. We'll give you a live look at the scene here. Back out once again at the Whipple Federal Building here in Minneapolis, where this crowd continues to grow by the hour here, despite this this little blizzard that we're having out here. Very cold temperatures. A lot of folks out here with different signs. Essentially what's going on right now is when those federal agents drive into the building with their vehicles, the crowd will yell at them. Then they'll have supporters come by who will honk their horns, sometimes in support. And every now and then, Will, these exchanges with the vehicles can get a little bit testy. I want to show you some video from when we were here last night. Take a look. This was a couple of federal agents who are trying to drive through the crowd. The crowd surrounded the car and drew his pistol the front of the car, trying to beckon people to get out of the way of that vehicle. Then we'll show you some other video from right here where we're standing last night. There was a lot of tear gas being deployed. Agents threw some out. One of the protesters picked up one of the canisters and tried throwing it back at the agents. The agents then came running out and took that person into custody. So back out here live where we are, fairly calm for the most part right now. Haven't seen any issues whatsoever. Just a lot of yelling, a lot of chants of FIs, calling them Nazis. You got a supporter coming by right now honking a horn, and that's kind of what it's been like during the daytime. Once you get into the evening hours, that's usually when we see the federal agents come out to this front gate right here, and that is when we start seeing more of the clashes, Will.
All right, we think we're going to check in with you a little bit later as well in the show, Bill. Yesterday, Alexis McAdams had to suffer through some harassment. I'm hoping that's not the same for you today, but we'll check in with you. Thank you, Bill. All right, before the protest in Minnesota, there was fraud. But while it may have been the first state, it's becoming increasingly clear that it won't be the last. Yesterday, the DOJ announced 2 Brooklyn scammers pleaded guilty to defrauding a whopping $68 million from New York's Medicaid home care program. How'd they pull that off? By paying health care kickbacks for services they just straight up didn't provide. But, not to be outdone, Minnesota is still making headlines too. On Wednesday, a Minneapolis man was charged with more than $3 million in Medicaid fraud tied to a state-licensed home health agency. Now, all of this is prompting Deputy HHS Secretary Jim O'Neill and CMS Administrator Dr. Oz to take a look for themselves in Minnesota. Hey, it's Will Cain. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.